It's back! Hello everybody, my name is Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I finally get to talk about Adventure Time. So this episode is pretty much a direct sequel to what was missing. I mean, Marceline was even humming a few bars of I'm Just Your Problem at the beginning of the episode. Now, I dug this episode in particular because I'm a pretty huge Marceline fan, and I'm a huge Bubbling shipper, like Bubbling trash right here. You know, back when What Was Missing first aired, I was dying, I was hungry for a canon lesbian relationship in a cartoon show. Now I'm not so much hungry for that anymore because it's happened, but I still think it would be a great, interesting development for those two characters, or if they were just friends and they had a falling out, that's cool too. I'm really excited about the miniseries and to get the whole story of what transpired between the two of them and how things got the way they are. But either way, I love both of them individually and the relationship together, be it friendship or more, which is what I'm leaning towards. In this episode, you can really get a sense for how tired PB is. Like, they animate her with all these lines and bags under her eyes, and we just sort of see how running the Candy Kingdom the way that she has been running it for so long has really taken a toll not only on her health, her mental state, but also on her relationships and just the way she views herself as a person. She's like literally sitting out on her front porch with a shotgun like an old redneck with PTSD. How exactly does Marceline's shapeshifting work? Like, we've seen her transform into monsters before, but this one it just seemed a little bit like she can turn into whatever it is that she wants to turn into as long as it works for the plot of the story. I also like how Bubblegum never ever flinches at Marceline's monstrous appearances. You know, like even Finn and Jake would like flinch a little bit seeing Marceline in her like full monster-y form. But Bubblegum, she's just like, oh hey, what's up? How you doing? You know, that says enough in and of itself about how close they were at one point. I feel like we've had a ton of episodes that were specifically designed to redeem Bubblegum in some way, but I feel like this is the one that's gonna end up sticking, just because we see her hit her lowest low. I don't think we've ever seen her like break down the way she did in this episode, and she was like, you know, crying and expressing emotions that we just don't normally associate with her. Also, having Marceline there backing her up throughout this, it just adds an extra level of realness to it, and just I really believe Bubblegum this time, and I really think she's actually going to turn around and she's actually going to become the nicer person that we always say that she's going to be. It was also just nice to get some straight up fighting again in this show. I feel like we haven't seen like action sequences in a really long time. Like, the show was going through a weird metamorphosis, but now it feels like we're right back on track, and I just loved the whole sequence with the Varmints and then like the gun that turns them into batteries, and then it broke into two guns, and then she like stabs one through the belly with like a knife or a ray gun or something. It is really cool. Good fight sequences, and Finn and Jake weren't even there. When Marceline was like, I like your handwriting, I think it's pretty, I'm just like, yeah, it's the handwriting, sure it is. The King of Ooh is so awful, but in that sort of offhanded, cheeky way. He reminds me of Finn's father. Like, I would not be surprised if they were related somehow. This was such a great episode. Like, it was a perfect blend of like funny and lighthearted and exciting and action-packed, but it also had that emotional depth that most Adventure Time episodes have on some level, but this one just sort of like tapped in to the emotional underbelly just enough to leave this impression on the people watching. But yeah, overall, I think Adventure Time is 100% back on track. I'm so excited for episodes going forward and the mini-series. I just really think that people who have given up on Adventure Time and sworn it off or whatever just because they didn't like the end of season 6 need a huge reality check, because Adventure Time has been going on for a long time. It's paved the way for so many other shows that people love comparing it to, like Steven Universe. Not knocking Steven Universe, you guys know I love it, but I'm just saying, Rebecca Sugar wouldn't have been allowed to pitch Steven Universe if she wasn't so popular on Adventure Time. So I feel like people really need to step back and examine it from a less personal perspective, and understand that Season 7 of Adventure Time thus far is already 100 times better than season 7 of like SpongeBob or Fairly Odd Parents or anything like that. Like, this one episode was better than the entirety of season 7 of SpongeBob, I thought. And yes, a ton of key players have left Adventure Time and moved on to different things, and they have obviously taken parts of the show with them. But overall, I still think it's a really quality show, and episodes like this show me that it's still 100% capable of allowing me to feel all the feels, and I am excited moving forward. So please feel free to leave any of your thoughts or feelings about the episode and the show in general in the comments below. I will be so excited to discuss them, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!